If you're in your 20s or older and have less than 100K saved up, this video is your roadmap. And honestly, that's probably most of you watching right now. Sorry for calling you out like that. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news. But look, the median net worth for someone in their 20s is literally $6,609. So if you feel behind, you're not. You're just average. But here's the thing. Average doesn't mean good. Average today means living paycheck to paycheck, stressed and controlled by money. I strongly believe that this is because nobody taught us how to escape that. School didn't, our parents couldn't. I'll just speak for myself. My parents don't know anything about personal finance and didn't teach me anything. We've all been left to figure it out ourselves the hard way. But the truth is, the real point to when you start building real wealth isn't when you become a millionaire or whatever. It's really when you hit your first 100K. That's the moment that everything in your life starts to change. Now here's why hitting 100K, especially in your 20s if you can, is such a big deal. First, compound interest. The first 100K is the hardest to make because you're doing all the heavy lifting by yourself. Let's say you have a 7% return, 100K turns into $1 million in about 40 years with zero extra effort. So with 100K, you're not just 10% of the way there. You've already built the foundation that will do 90% of the heavy lifting for you. In order to hit the second 100K, after the first one, it takes way less time, almost in half. The third, even faster. But second, and most people don't like to talk about this enough, it's a massive psychological win. Seeing that 6-figure number in your bank account, those 5 extra zeros, does something to your brain. It really proves to yourself and shows you that you can actually do this. That building wealth and becoming, financially free is not just a theory anymore, it's possible. And if you can hit that 100K in your 20s, which is possible, you're already lapping 90% of people. I like to think about this like a video game. Your character has 2 core attributes that you can level up. Attribute number 1, making more money. Pretty straightforward, increase your income, but here's where it gets interesting. You've really got 2 paths. Path 1 is what I like to call skill leverage. Now this is just a fancy way of saying to take the skills that you already have and leverage it and find a higher value way to use them. When I first started posting on social media and creating content, small businesses started to reach out and ask me to consult for them to help them get started because they wanted to build their own brands as well. Now I wasn't some expert and I wasn't going around pitching that service. I was just a few months ahead of them and had some experience, but that was enough. That was a skill that I could leverage into getting another stream of income. But that was just for me. Let's say that you're into fitness a lot. Maybe you could start a YouTube channel, do online coaching, or even help people out at the gym as a side gig as a personal trainer. Or let's say you work in corporate and you work in sales. Maybe you could become a closer for other companies or maybe online businesses on the side. You can get retainers or even commission splits. I know a lot of people who did sales on the side and even ended up quitting their 9-to-5 because they started ending up making a lot more money through that skill. But even something like being good with dogs, you can watch them, train them, make real money doing it using apps like Wag or Rover. There's a lot of opportunities out there. The point is that you probably have some sort of skill or interest right now that someone will pay you money for it. You just haven't thought about it in that way and really applied yourself. Now, path 2 is picking up new skills or doing side gigs that don't necessarily require specific skills or interest. Now, picking up new skills could be like learning how to code, video edit, copyright, creating content, high value skills that will pay really well. Or again, if you need money right now, there's things that you can do at this moment that doesn't require you to have any exceptional skills or new talents or interests like gig apps, DoorDash, again, Rover for dog walking, Instacart, or even taking surveys online. But the trade-off with those type of skills, those gig apps, is that because you're not getting paid based off of the value of your skill, you're going to be paid with the time you put in, which will always be capped. But it's still money working towards that 100K goal, and even an extra $100 to $500 a month goes a long way. To me, I see it like it's doing the extra credit. Your 9-to-5 will pay the bills, but your 5 to 9 will build real wealth. Why your 20s matter. It really only gets harder from here. If you're in your 20s right now, this is the best time, the easiest time to ever build wealth. Not necessarily easy, but easiest. Well, there's 3 reasons. One of them is time. At a 7% return, which is really low, $1 invested at 20 grows to about $22 by the time you retire at 65. Let's say you start at 30, then it becomes $11. Wait until you're 40, then it's just $5. 2, energy and neuroplasticity. Your brain is literally more capable of learning new things, learning new skills right now than it will be ever when you're a lot older. You can adapt faster, fail faster, recover faster, and you just have a lot more energy all around. There's actual science behind this. Neuroplasticity, the ability to learn new things, learn new skills, decreases as you age and you get more stuck in your ways. 3, you have fewer responsibilities. You have no mortgage, maybe no kids, fewer bills. This is the time to take risk, try new things, fail, and not have it ruin your entire life because you don't have other people depending on you. You don't have too many bills going on. Compare that to when maybe you're 35, when you have a family, when you have a mortgage, when you have a car, when you have all of these payments. Making big moves, taking more risk is a lot scarier. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible to build their wealth later. A lot of people who do end up building their wealth are a little bit older in age. Maybe you get promoted, you start to climb up the ladder, and start to earn more, but it's really just about the time and energy. It's like trying to get in shape. Of course, you can get shredded at 40, you can get shredded later on, but it's just objectively easier at 25. So this is your window. And if you have the ability to, if you have the opportunity to, use it. Attribute 2, save aggressively. Now let's be real, your first 100K is not going to come from investment gains. It's going to be coming from how much money you make and how much money you can actually keep. If you're saving around $1,500 a month, which is a lot, and getting 8 to 10% return on your investments, about 95% of that 100K anyways is going to be coming from money that you've been saving away. These investment returns are honestly barely doing anything for you yet, but after that 100K mark, it really will start to pick up. But that's why I always say to keep your investing boring and simple, just so you focus on the habits. Just throw it into a low-cost index fund and forget about it. I'll link a video on all about that at the end, but your real focus should be making more money, but most importantly, keeping it. Now, here's what this looks like. Track your spending, not forever, but maybe for like 30 days, just to see where your money is actually going. And then once you figure out more of the lay of the land and you figure out where your budget is going, now it's time to actually budget and tell your money where to go and where not to go. This is called budgeting. And now you can use this good rule of thumb called the 50-30-20 rule. This is a good rule of thumb. Again, it's solid. It's 50% on needs, 30% on wants, 20% on savings. But if you want to hit that 100K faster, of course, you need to be a little more aggressive and increase that savings mark. Maybe you can do 40-30-30 or even 30-20-50. It's all subjective. Figure out how you can cut the waste. And I don't mean to never have fun and to reduce your spendings, 100% and renounce all your possessions. I mean, stop spending on the stuff that you don't even care about in the first place, like the impulse decisions, the DoorDash that you ordered because you're too lazy to cook, or the subscription that you forgot about, or the new iPhone when your current one is working fine. There's a lot of things that you can cut out that if you truly ask yourself, doesn't really matter to you. The whole point is to be intentional with your spending. Spend on what you actually value and benefits your life, and cut everything else out ruthlessly. Look poor to stay rich. Now here's a mindset shift that really changed everything for me and helped me out to budget and to really grow my wealth. It's about living below your means. Now living below your means doesn't necessarily mean to be cheap. It's about not needing to always buy things or needing, the most expensive stuff to be happy. I know a lot of people that when they're bored or they're feeling down, they need to go shopping or they need to buy this new thing in order to be happy, and it's just a constant cycle. And so when you build a lifestyle that doesn't require spending money or buying the next best thing to be happy and content with life, 3 things start to happen. 1, you save a lot more money, obviously. 2, you become way more grateful and overall more content because you're not always chasing the next big thing and you don't need, external materialistic things to give you happiness in life. And honestly, any happiness that you get from buying whatever it is, even if it's a new car, always fades away. The purchases are just giving you a dopamine hit that literally goes away after a few days. Studies show that after achieving, a goal or buying something crazy, our dopamine and happiness will always spike, but inevitably always fizzles back to what it was before. And this is what is called a hedonic treadmill. And just because you're able to buy your dream car, buy your dream house, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be more happy in life. And 3, you're not trapped. If something goes wrong, you lose your job, an emergency happens, you need more money, you're not screwed because your lifestyle is a lot more flexible and you don't require much to stay afloat and to stay alive. Because your burn rate is low, you don't require a lot to stay alive, then you can go through a lot of stuff. Plus, looking poor while you're saving money in your 20s means that you're actually setting yourself to be more rich later on. And you actually build the right habits early enough that will follow you through the rest of your life and not only help you become a richer, wealthier person, but also happier as well. And most people end up doing the opposite of this. this. They try their best to look as rich as possible in their 20s on credit cards and debt, and they end up staying broke forever. The best piece of advice I have to be able to do this is to just automate your savings and automate everything. If you have a high yield savings account or just a regular brokerage, you can actually automate money that moves from your checking account into your savings or investments accounts every single month or every single week, whenever you want. And the reason why this is so powerful, because if you don't see money in your account, then you won't be tempted to spend it. And automating everything really takes all the guesswork and mental labor. It's kind of mentally draining to really think about, oh, how much money do I need to save? How much money do I need to pay the bills, whatever. It's draining to have to do that every single week, every single month. And so if you're trying to manually save and invest, you're gonna have days when you don't want to. You're gonna have days when you just forget. You're gonna have days when maybe you obviously can't. But if you automate it, then you don't have a choice, and you start to actually shift priorities, shift your budget, shift your spending habits in order to make those investments and savings. And I can't stress this enough, this is the one trick that saved me thousands of dollars and really helped me the most build the wealth that I have. I'm not just relying on my willpower and motivation, because that wanes, that ebbs and flows. It just happened. And if this is your second or third time hearing this, then use it as a sign. Please just set up your automations with your brokerages or high yield savings account. Set that up, just set it to $100, maybe $10. And whenever you feel more comfortable, whenever you can, increase that amount. And by doing this, you can actually do the math and see how long it'll actually take you to reach $100,000. And just seeing that alone will really motivate you to want to even save more, because you actually see the numbers behind it. Now look, hitting 100K in your 20s isn't some impossible flex. It's just math plus consistency plus a few smart decisions. You've got the time, you've got the energy, you have fewer responsibilities than you'll ever have again. I know it's hard. I know that, most people our age doesn't have even 100K. They're still struggling. But if you just do the bare minimum, focus on savings, you budget, you set up the right account, you set up automations, even if you don't hit 100K, you'll be way more ahead of everyone else, and you'll be just way more steps and way more set up than you were before. And so again, it doesn't necessarily matter if you hit this goal. What matters is what type of person you become during that entire journey. So please lock in, make more money, save more, invest smart, and give your future self the gift of options. And if you want to know exactly on how to invest that money once you start saving, I made a full breakdown on why being a dumb investor is actually the smartest move, and I'll put the link right here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And of course, till next time.